In terms of your contact with Juliana, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what kind of contact would you have on a daily basis prior to having a relationship?
Prior to having a relationship, it was mostly logistical. I may inform her when I was going to get home from work, if I had any delays, making sure that Valerie was getting to, say, dance lessons if Christine and I were not available then. Juliana would generally bring Valerie to preschool on the days that she was working. And we might just talk about activities for her to do with Valerie on days that they were working.
Okay. And when was it that this turned from a working relationship to something else?
In August of 2022.
Okay. Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how that happened.
So, in August, Juliana and I were home alone. I had to work on both Saturday and Sunday. So I believe the original day was a Friday. Christine and Valerie were in New York, and Juliana started texting me while I was preparing food in the kitchen. It was an unusual line of text as she was complaining about.
Let me, if I may, just
Sure.
interrupt. Where was she and where were you in the house?
I was in the kitchen. I believe she was upstairs in her room.
Okay. Sorry. Please go. Continue.
It was a unusual text conversation in terms of that Juliana was complaining about her dating activity and the people that she was seeing at the time. I don't particularly like texting, and I think I basically said that if she wanted to talk, that she could come to the kitchen.
Okay. And what, if anything, happened?
At that point, Juliana showed me quite a few screenshots of her dating app. I believe it was Hinge, and the people that were in the Hinge app all had similar names to me. Their names were Brendan and Brandon and Brennan. And these were people that she had matched with on the app.
And so, and how did it progress from there?
She was making quite a few jokes about it. At some point, I finished cooking and was eating. I don't believe that Juliana actually ate dinner at the same time. We talked about other unrelated things. Talked about there was some family history of alcoholism and how her family in Brazil was dealing with that. And we'd spent maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours talking about some random things, but also about her dating history. During this time, when she was talking about different people, she was described people that she was interested in, people that were taller, people that were older, and it appeared to me that she was along with the photos, that the screenshots that she had shown me of people that she had matched with, that she was basically describing me. Also, I guess when we were having this conversation, we were sitting at the island in the kitchen, and she scooted her seat closer to mine a couple times.
And so what did you do at that point?
I did not stop her advances. At some point, I told her that I was going to go upstairs, indicating that I was going to go to bed. And she said that she was tired and that she was going to do the same. A little bit of information about the upstairs of my house. Once you go upstairs, the master bedroom is to the left, and all the other bedrooms are to the right. So her bedroom, a guest bedroom, and Valerie's bedroom are to the right. When I went upstairs, I went to the left, and she also took a step towards the left with me. And we had a brief conversation there, and then she came with me into my bedroom.
Did you ever talk to her either that night or later about a continuing relationship?
We did not talk that night about continuing a relationship. We did talk about, I would say, in the next few days, I guess we spoke a little bit about the relationship. She had indicated that she was concerned that I was going to tell Christine and that she was going to be essentially fired and sent back and lose her job, which I indicated that I wasn't going to tell her.
Okay. Did you tell her anything about what had just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also indicated to her that I had previous affairs, and that really this was just an affair, and not that there would be no other relationship, that there's, but basically that this is something that I have had affairs previously, and that there's nothing that changes in mine and Christine's relationship.
Now, was Christine aware of your affair?
I don't believe she was aware of the affair between me and Juliana.
Was she aware of your previous affairs?
She was aware of at least 2 previous affairs.
Okay. And likewise, were you aware of her affairs?
Yes, I was also aware that she had affairs.
Okay. And how did the two of you manage in your relationship moving forward with those facts?
So I guess in about 2013, it was found that we had quite a few discussions. At that point, Christine was working at the private healthcare, and she would travel for work for an entire week at a time, basically. And during this time, she would not be available to come home. Her shift was literally the entire week. So we were separated a lot. My job, I wasn't in at my previous position, but my job also required some travel. I spent about 6 months in Jacksonville. I spent another month in Kansas City, and I was living in New York, but I also spent some time here in the DC area. So we were both traveling quite a lot for work. I guess that was poor for our relationship at that point. We had gone to therapy. We went to couples therapy for several months. We had decided that we were going to continue our marriage.
So now back to 2022. You and Juliana were having an affair outside of the knowledge of Christine?
Yes.
And how did that look on a daily basis?
It's not the same. It's not the same all the time, but I guess it depended, a lot on Christine's work schedule. So Juliana may spend time with me and Valerie during the day instead of when I would get home from work. Juliana used to just kind of leave. She might go to her room or she might go out prior to our relationship. And afterwards, it was more like she chose to do whatever I was going to do with Valerie, whether it was going to be stay home or, like I was Valerie's soccer coach. So when I would go to soccer practice, sometimes Juliana would go, even though I wasn't interacting with her at all. Basically, she was choosing to be with me whenever she could choose to be with me.